Hey everybody, this is John. I want to talk to you a little bit about what is a transpersonal nurse coach. Um, we're all aware of what a coach does. They leverage your skills and address any gaps you may have that are, hindering your progress, whether that's, sports or life. At any point in our life, I think you could take a snapshot and look at it and see, there's an aspect that perhaps, we can do better. But what if that gap or that aspect was actually healthcare related? An image coach or a lifestyle coach, they may have some information, but I think that they may have a gap in that arena. So this is where a nurse coach would come in. Nurse coaches they're different because we use our skill set and clinical knowledge base to drive client results. We work to educate and navigate and empower people that are, that we work with, but oftentimes it'll be related to, a treatment or a diagnosis or a chronic illness. That on top of, let's face it, the hospital system, the insurance system, the treatment regimen itself, they all can be complex. And so, just having someone who understands it and can walk you through it is, oftentimes beneficial. So then the transpersonal aspect comes in. So again, nurse coaches, rather than focusing on pathology or diagnosis or sometimes the treatment regimen itself, they're not there to diagnose or treat. In this situation, they're more about looking at the current situation, seeing what it means for you, and then, what is the life purpose within that event. And when you take an event, a healthcare event, and try to find the transpersonal approach and the meaning for your life therein, that's more of a spiritual approach. So generally speaking, I think what we want to do is we want to look at your situation and then say, and if we could shift from why did this happen to me into a mindset where why did this happen for me, that to for mentality shift, it brings empowerment and acceptance, and sometimes both. Now, I did say the S word a few times, so yes, I have said spirituality. No white collar here, but there is no theological construct here to express a spiritual approach to things. The goal of a nurse is to serve their needs, and to do so with a multicultural population. That being said, a lot of time illness can begin a spiritual, mystical, or life-changing experience. I guess if there is a belief, with air quotes, it would be that each person has a reservoir of holistic resources within themselves, and we would work together to discover what your skills are and how we can apply them to the root of what's going on. And maybe another way to put it would be, we want to move you from a point of fear-based thinking to discovering your core strengths, apply them to the lesson, and again, move you to a state of empowerment and wholeness. Now, I personally am coming after this because of both subjective and objective experiences. I am a nurse, I am a licensed nurse, active license, so I can call myself a nurse coach. but I've got some other seasoning here that I think might help out. Now, subjectively, I have received several life-changing diagnoses over the years. I've been told I was going to have a new normal, but I defined what my new normal was. You know, there may have been some limitations, and they may have been temporary or they may be permanent, but how I choose to move through the world after that event is part of my new normal planning. So for example, I couldn't walk for a while. And so in addition to physical therapy and, you know, again, putting on the nursing hat to kind of help with the physical therapy aspect of it, I also practiced remote viewing. So I didn't need my physical body to go places and see things. And that, my friend, is the transpersonal aspect of this. So we'll get into it. So speaking of my own new normal, I had a near-death experience. I had multiple organ system failure. I was in a coma for a couple of weeks. I was hospitalized for nearly a month. But objectively, one of the consequences of my near-death experience was to pivot out of being an English teacher singing opera to becoming a cancer/hospice nurse. And in that capacity, I was able to share my experience with others and share that process of moving from the happened to me, happened for me mindset change. And a lot of my patients found that very helpful. The other thing that I can contribute to that is I became a plenary guardian in the state of Florida a few years back. And so with that end-of-life training, as well as hospice nursing, as well as oncology nursing, as well as my own near-death experience, I feel like I'm pretty, I think I consider myself an expert when it comes to planning someone's last couple of chapters. And some of those have been intentional and other experiences unintentional. The other thing too that I want to share is that since 2011, I've been volunteering my services with different groups that support people who have had a near-death experience, others who have had what they call a spiritually transformative experience. It's kind of like a near-death experience, except without the pesky healing part afterward. They have had an event that doesn't fit into mainstream. They are being handed a new normal without really given any kind of support on how to move into that. And it also requires, again, the to, for, me shift in thinking. So while other professionals are working with you with your physical aspect and diagnosis, and maybe some mental challenges that go along with that, I would like to use my experiences and background to address the same, but from a spiritual perspective. Who knows, perhaps by doing so we can find the root of the issue as opposed to treating the symptoms. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me through my website and email contact, or connect with me here on the video. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great day.